Hey, it's me, Nalthazar, and welcome to another Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest video. In this one, I'm going to be going over Leafkin Avenger. So Leafkin Avenger is a new card that was introduced to Puzzle Quest in the M21 set. It is a rare, and it is incredibly powerful. So in the previous set, Ikoria, we got a crazy strong red-green rare by the name of Quartzwood Crasher. In this one, it looks like we got something almost comparably powerful, if not just as powerful, if not maybe even in some ways more powerful, in Leafkin Avenger. By the end of this video, I think you will see what I mean. So, Leafkin Avenger is 12 for a 6/5. It's an elemental druid. It has activate 3 green, convert 1 gem to green for each creature you control with base power 5 or more. And then the real bread and butter of this card is when you convert 3 or more gems to green, deal X damage to your opponent's planeswalker. X is this creature's power. Now, that damage is not capped to a certain amount of times per turn, which means that you can go into PvE encounters and kill bosses in 1 turn with this thing. I'm not exaggerating. In Standard, you can create a deck that is going to kill PvE bosses in 1 turn with this thing. Now, in order for Leafkin Avenger to work well, you definitely need to build a core around it. So the core are going to be the cards that come together to really take advantage of each other's strengths. They're gonna form really the basis of your deck. Now, because of the way that Leafkin Avenger reads and works, your core is definitely going to need to consist of a whole bunch of things that are going to convert gems to green, and specifically things that are going to convert 3 or more gems to green. So really, you've got 2 routes that you can go with Leafkin Avenger to make it really successful. The first one is you make an Eidolon of Blossoms deck, as Eidolon of Blossoms is going to convert 3 gems to green every time you play an enchantment or an aura. The Constellation ability is going to make it go super wacky with Leafkin Avenger. And the second option is that you go with a green spell conversion deck. Now, the downside to a green spell conversion deck is just that you are going to be playing a bunch of spells, but green doesn't have a whole bunch of card draw, which means that in order for this to really work well for a green spell deck, you need to have something like Song of Creation, which is going to make it so that whenever you cast a spell, you draw cards. So the real key to Song of Creation in this deck is the second part of the ability, which says when you cast a non-land card, draw 2 cards. So all the different spells in this deck and supports that are going to convert gems to green are going to be doing so and drawing us cards. The only thing in the deck that isn't going to be drawing us cards are going to be things like Temple Garden, which is a land, and then the Leafkin Avenger along with the Avatar of Growth. Now, everything else in this deck actually converts gems to green, because the more things that you can convert to green, the more that you can make this combo deadly, and the more consistent you're going to be able to make it. So, Avatar of Growth is the other creature in this deck, and Avatar of Growth says that when this creature enters the battlefield, convert X gems to green. X is your green mana bonus. Then fetch the first 2 land supports from your library and move those to the board under your control. This is amazing on a number of levels. The first level is that for us, because I am using Nissa Worldwaker, we're going to be converting 4 gems to green every time one of those avatars enters the battlefield. It's not on cast, it's on enter the battlefield. It's also going to fetch 2 lands and pull them out of our deck. And since there isn't a 10th card that I could put into this deck that would convert 3 gems to green in Standard, it meant that I got to put in a land like Temple Garden, which really is just here so that it gets fetched out of the deck. Because once it gets fetched out of the deck, I don't have to worry about drawing it anymore as part of my loop, and so my loop is going to become significantly more nasty, as it will now only be composed of things that convert to green, or the creatures. But because of how the rest of the deck is designed, I'm not even going to be really drawing those creatures either. For the things that are going to be converting to green as spells, I have Animist's Awakening, which is going to convert 5 gems to green, potentially twice. So Animist's Awakening can trigger the elemental 2 times for 1 cast, which is extra sweet. It's nasty, guys. It's dirty. It's filthy. We've got Cultivate, which is going to convert 8 gems to green, because this is a mono green walker, and it's going to fetch more of those Temple Gardens out of our deck. We've got Circuitous Route. This is just for the gem conversion. I am not running gates. I do not want to run gates. I just want the gem conversion out of this. I've got Omen of the Hunt, which is also going to convert gems to green, and it's going to go ahead and fetch more of those Temple Gardens out of our deck. Basically, we will never draw one naturally, and with Omen of the Hunt, we can even choose cancel and not draw the Temple Gardens. We've got Song of Creation, I went over that already, and this brings us to the last two cards in the deck, Chord of Calling and Finale of Devastation. These are both creature fetch cards. Chord of Calling lets you cast the creature, and Finale of Devastation puts the creature directly on the battlefield, and then if you've filled up the charged mana enough, is going to buff all of your creatures with +8/+8 and give them haste. Finale of Devastation is huge for this deck, because Finale of Devastation is not only going to be fetching creatures for us, but it's going to be giving them haste, which means that we can combo this off and swing for our opponent's death if we need to, although I'm going to be honest, you're probably almost never going to need to swing for death. The Leafkin Avenger, if the deck is built properly, will just kill on burn alone. It's absurd. But the Finale of Devastation is going to be boosting that Avenger, and it's going to make it so that it deals more damage. Now, when you're using Finale of Devastation or Chord of Calling, the card you're actually going to want to fetch every single time if you can is Avatar of Growth, because Avatar of Growth is going to convert gems to green, which is going to make the Leafkin Avenger do more damage, and it's also going to give you more mana for the green converters in your hand, but it's also going to fetch all of those Temple Gardens out, and so you just get a ridiculous loop going. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some gameplay of this deck working, because chances are you don't want to hear me talking very much more, you want to see me playing this, and it is good. Let's get gaming. Alrighty, so I decided to run Leafkin Avenger against Ulamog because I figured that a PvE opponent would be the perfect way to illustrate just how powerful this card really is. Like, it is nutty good. So here we've got a pretty perfect starting hand, getting Song of Creation and the Leafkin Avenger and some gem converters, because that just means that we're going to probably be able to start getting the ball rolling early. You'll see that Ulamog is at 324 health. I'm definitely going to go ahead and take the 5 match into the green match right there. I want to try and get all the different combo pieces here coming on, so I definitely want to get the Avatar of Goodness. So here we're going to take another Leafkin Avenger. You might be like, well, Nalthazar, didn't you want the Avatar? Yes, I did, but remember that Song of Creation draws us cards, and so I wanted to try and make this turn as big as possible. So the Temple Garden is there really just so that we can fetch it, pull it out of the deck. The Animist's Awakening and whatnot are going to be converting crazy gems for us. The Song of Creation, as you can see, is drawing us an amount of cards that really just is not fair. The Avatar is going to come down here. It's going to go ahead and convert more gems to green for us. So the Leafkin is just chain pinging Ulamog in the event that you're wondering what's happening. So all of these gem conversions are pinging Ulamog for damage. So we definitely want the Leafkin Avenger to be as powerful as possible, but in order for the Leafkin Avenger to work, we want as much gem conversion as possible. So you'll see me targeting the Avatar with my Chord of Calling. You'll see me targeting the Avatar with Finale of Devastation. So you're going to see all of that coming into play here. All of the rest of this gem conversion is just whittling Ulamog down, and at this rate, because of how this combo is going, this is probably just going to take out all 324 of Ulamog's health in one turn. It'll be effectively a one-shot, in a manner of speaking, just with repeated smashes because of the Leafkin Avenger. So the Finale is going to be getting us gem conversion. It's going to be powering them up, meaning the Leafkin's going to be hitting harder. And this is actually the end of Ulamog. We've got 2 more cards, 3 more cards, I should say, maybe, and then Ulamog is done for. So this just took out 324 health in about 3 minutes, maybe. I mean, it's crazy powerful. If you have Leafkin Avenger, go ahead, put it in a Nissa Worldwaker deck or a Nissa 1 deck, give it a shot. It is massively powerful. If you don't have Leafkin Avenger yet, you absolutely want to target this card. You want to get it because it really is this strong. So we're going to not stop the loop. We're going to kill Ulamog, and that's all she wrote. Thanks for watching.